Okay, we have talked about triggers in depth and probably overloaded you with a ton of technical jargon. Let's talk about when people are triggered and how it relates to task process and relational conflict and how difficult it can be to assess which bucket it truly is. So once upon a time, I had a mediation where a husband and wife were getting divorced, but what was a little bit different was they had a business together. So one of the things we always do in mediation is we have them fill out what we call an intake form, just a little brief one-pager on what's your name, what are you arguing about, the amount in dispute, some basic things so we kind of know what to prepare for a little bit in mediation without being biased. Except one of the other boxes that we have is there abuse in the relationship? So we need to know if there's physical abuse, if we need to separate the people, make them different sides of the building, have security, anything along those lines. And the attorney for the wife checked the no box, but then wrote in the margins, except the wife shot the husband in the throat. So what the hell? So they show up for the mediation, and I'm thinking it's a joke. The attorney's playing a joke on me, but the husband walks in and he has a bandage on his throat. So I put him in one room, and walks the wife, nice as can be, smiling, happy, laughing, put her in the other room, and then walks the attorney, my friend. And I told her, what is going on? And she said, it's not abuse. It was with the 22. Totally doesn't count. So, oh my gosh. So we go into this mediation and we start, talking about and diving in. And so I naturally assume they are relationally triggered, that they absolutely hate each other, can't stand each other. And this is going to be a relational conflict that we need to resolve. When it turns out all of their conflict, they actually were great together. All of their conflict, they were both extremely process triggered and were arguing in depth all the time about how the business should be run. So we shifted gears from trying to resolve the relational conflict between them, which was actually minimal, and focused on actually resolving the dissolution of the business and how that process went and everything else. So when it comes to assumptions, as we've talked about throughout the beginning of this program, when it comes to assessment, take a step back, because just because somebody shot the other person in the throat doesn't necessarily mean that they don't like that person. They very well could. So keep that in mind throughout the remainder of this program, that everything is not always as it seems. We need to take that time to figure out which type of conflict that we're resolving.